And good morning. Welcome to a local talk here on Nextdoor Radio, nextdoorradio.com, and the Nextdoor Radio app. My name is Trace Nod, and you're tuned into Local Talk is live every single weekday beginning at 10 a.m. Our phone number, 919-618-9258, 919-618-9258. If you want to be a part of the program, we would love to hear from you. We have a great show lined up for you here today. We are live today. Guillermo Nurse, who is running for the mayor of Oxford in the upcoming elections, joins us here. How are you today, sir?
Good morning, Trey. Great to be here.
Likewise, I appreciate you very much for joining us here this morning. Let's kind of do a quick little introduction on who you are, and for those that might not really know who you are just yet, but let's introduce who you are in a kind of a 30-second infomercial, if you can.
Good morning. I'm Guiilermo Nurse. I'm born in Panama on the Canal Zone, U.S. territory. I migrated back to U.S. at the age of 17. I joined the Navy at age 18. Served 22 years in the U.S. Navy, number one branch in the world. Retired, became facility operation manager in a couple of organizations. And Oxford just happened to be in the best route to and from work. And I settled in Oxford, only to find out this is the greatest little city in North Carolina.
I couldn't agree more, my friend. Couldn't agree more. And of course, my name is Trey Stein on behalf of Nextdoor. He is the Guiilermo Nurse running for mayor of Oxford coming up in the upcoming elections. So when you found out that there was a seat open for the mayor for the city or mayor of Oxford, what was kind of the reasoning you wanted to really dive deep into running for mayor?
Well, actually, late last year, the project came up, and actually we started doing things back in February, not knowing the seat was the current mayor was not going to run. But what made me decide to do it is, one, I was asked to join the planning board of the city, and that really got me to take a look at the way the city operates. Besides the points, I've been going to every city board meeting for the last 2.5 years. I've seen a lot of things that could be changed. I see how the cities operate. I see how the city needed to be improved in technology and a different way of operating. And we were basically operating, and we're still operating a little bit behind our times. And I felt motivated to get on board and see if I can bring my vision and my leadership abilities into the city.
And Guillermo Nurse joins us here by way of our Local Talk live in studio here at Nextdoor Radio. We're located at 109 Hillsborough Street in beautiful downtown Oxford. So you talked a little bit about your the vision of it. What is that, though? What is that vision that you have for Oxford?
One, my first vision is seeing Oxford as a united city. Like it or not, we are a divided city in many ways. And to unite the city, you got to be a leader. Mm-hmm. A leader got to be honest. He's got to have credibility, and he got to have integrity. And the only way you can get folks to decide and join in and be a united city, you got to demonstrate that ability to get the people to follow you. You know, I look as a leader as not, you don't follow your leader because you're obligated to, because that's your job. You follow your leader because you believe in his vision and his goals, and you want to be part of that dream. Oxford has some great people working here right now. The downtown economical group is fantastic. They're pushing forward. Parks and Recs is starting to get better. They have a good vision. I like what Tina's doing down there. Talk to Steve at Public Works. They need a lot of work. He's on track. So my experience in just about every area I've just mentioned makes me want to get involved in the city operation.
Guillermo Nurse joins us here. He is running for mayor of Oxford in the upcoming election. So let's kind of dive deep into some couple key points to really highlight what is going on here in Oxford. So a couple of things, the public safety to include police and the fire departments. When we say that, what does that mean?
Well, recently we had the issue about the police department got down to a low level of in their manning. And all that was because we understand at the time we were being told there's no funding to get the police to where the level it want and what it should be at. We realized that at a certain point that was false information being given to the public. Uh, then the fire department is very good, well managed fire department, outstanding job. I just think we need to start looking for the future because as we get older, you get up in age, a lot of folks look at retirement, and we need to start building the younger generation into the fire department and the police department.
Guilermo Nurse joins us here by way of our local talk. Our phone number, 919-618-9258. Of course, both of those play a key role in making our community here in Oxford stand out and to be able to be safe and things like that. So we appreciate that very much. Of course, we believe that downtown Oxford is growing. It's thriving. There's a lot going on that's great about the community of Oxford. And so one of the things, kind of shop local, the downtown economy. What is your plans for that?
Well, we need to build on downtown. We need to support our local vendors. We don't have much. We have a lot of lawyers' office. We have a lot of bail bond offices. Those need to be eventually become retail space. There is a location for these offices, the bail bonds and so forth. If you go down across from Advance Auto, there's a building that since I've been here 12 years abandoned. I guess they used to have an old pool hall right on the corner of Bramble Street. That's next to, I think
On
it's
the left?
On the left.
Okay. Yep.
Across from Walgreens. That building is ideal for that. So if we get whoever the owner of that building to rehabilitate it, to get the bail bonds and some of the lawyer offices that we need to move out of the immediate city and create more retail, because the resale sale tax is what helped the city strive. So if we build more, we have more folks coming into the city. Most recently, I was door knocking in Oxford Park, and I thought I knew just about everybody in Oxford. And I was out there and like, wow, the folks I met out there don't really come into town. They don't see a need. There's nothing for it attracts them. Now we starting to get things. We have distillery, the breweries doing things. Strong Arm is, to me, the number one bakery in the region. I mean, you go all the way up to Vance, Warren,
They
Durham,
got it going on. I'll give them that.
You can't find nobody to do with these guys. We have the that's my second home here in Oxford. It's Main Street Fitness Gym. I'm always there. I like to work out. So that's vibrant. It's converted from a poorly operated location to a very
Miss Julie's done a fantastic job. Yes, sir.
Fantastic job there. A lot of problems we find. And then you got Miss Betty's at this and that. A wonderful lady going there. Her problem, for example, which leads into where I'm coming, her problem, her customers, her clients are at the age of, the seniors. But guess what? There's no parking. Okay. This and that is a traditional business. That's a tradition in Oxford. She should have at least a designated parking or two in front of her location. But the issue we have is on court dates, folks going to court, come in and park right on Main Street, and they could be in court maybe 4, 5, 6 hours. There's no enforcement of the 2-hour parking limit. So we have a parking issue downtown. So that's something we need to look at in order to get the local economy and local shopping going. We got to look and see how we can get parking in the city. And there's ways to do that. I most recently walked with a gentleman right in the area and identified 30 new parking spaces that we could create.
Wow. And so how do you go about doing something like that? Because it's needed. Parking is needed, but how do you kind of go and talk to the right people, and how does all that work?
the main thing to look at first is Little John parking lot. That's city owned. We need to start looking at how we can have a 2 or 3, 4 parking garage up there. We don't have the money to make it, to build it, but we need to look into grants, how we can get grants to build a parking space. Second, other parking areas are privately owned and assigned to the businesses that are there for them. We need to reach out to these owners and say, hey, let's look at I'm going to say something, maybe someone here like to hear, meter parking.
Yeah.
You go to Durham, you go to Raleigh, you go to every little city. We don't have the coin parking meter. You have the one I can go with a app from my phone and I park. Now, the courthouse should have a designated parking. This is where you come in the court, lawyers, everyone in the court. This is where you can park between the hours from, let's say, 7 to 3 o'clock. And then we should have parking designated for the visitors coming into the city who want to shop. And we just got to get creative. Maybe the businesses want to get to be a valet parking, and that may help, So those are different ideas I'd like to work on.
Absolutely. Again, Guiilermo Nurse joins us here running for mayor of Oxford in the upcoming elections. My name is Trace Nine on behalf of our local talk program here weekdays beginning at 10 a.m. Our phone number 919-618-9258. Of course, providing parking, which kind of leads into the next kind of topic of discussion for today, kind of the growth coming into Oxford itself. There's a lot of growth. There is people moving into the area because of some great things. We have Tobacco Wood Brewing. You talked a little bit about the Main Street Fitness, distillery, a lot of great things happening. So your kind of idea about the growth game plan moving forward.
This is a subject that has a lot of people scared. And I can understand that. Folks are scared about change. Folks are scared about growth. But it's an educational process to me. I've lived in maybe 6 or 8 different countries in the world. I live in different states. So everywhere goes through change. And it's got to be an educational process where we educate the citizen of what's going on. Nobody likes to wake up one morning and say, oh, this is happening. I drive downtown. Oh, I can't go here because it's locked off or the road is shut down. Growth right now. If you look at Oxford since I moved here, a typical place, go sit in Stronghorn, go sit in the Hub, go sit in the distillery, Tobacco Woods. You see, I'm going to say this, hundreds of folks that was not living here in the past, but they've moved to Oxford. Most of these folks are the new generation, the laptop generation. They work from home. And we need to, they have gotten adapted into our lifestyle right now. Now we got to prepare for what's coming. Everything that's just growing and grow, Oxford is going to have growth 2 places. The most of the growth, 80% is going to be on the outskirts. City property, they're going to be annexed into the city, but it's going to be outside, down 15 or 96, down the exit 202, out of the loop. They're going to be on the outskirts of the city. Again, while still belonging to be city property. We have to have the workforce. We got to supply workforce because we hear the customers and the citizens talk about, oh, we want a Harris Theater, we want a Wegmans, we want a Costco, we want a something like that up here. But guess what? You don't have any place for the workforce to live. So why create businesses not coming? And when a business look at you, they say, okay, they have the infrastructure, they have the housing for us to come in and establish. If I'm a corporate owner and I'm going to establish in Oxford, I don't want my employees coming 45 minutes to an hour away to get to work. I want to make sure they have housing close by. The workforce housing is a little different. The growth is going to produce housing in the 350, the upper 200s and 400. I've seen projects where houses is going to cost $1 million. Uh, the workforce cannot afford that. So we need housing for the workforce, which is apartments are coming. But if you look throughout the city, there's over 250 vacant or abandoned homes. When I say abandoned, I say boarded homes. It's been sitting there for 10, 12, 14. I was visiting a lady down in Cradle area, and she said, look at that house. It's boarded up for 20 years.
Wow.
Okay. Take for granted the family owns it. They pay their taxes. She said they come maybe twice a year and cut the grass. So we got to look at how can we infill.
Mm-hmm.
You have lots that the houses been totally taken now because the city has used them. The fire department is using them for the training of their firefighters, and they burn them down.
Mm-hmm.
A typical example of what the infill is, look at right across from Hicksville. There's a modular home, boom, in no time going up there. I met the gentleman. He's a former Oxford police. He's retired Army, and he decided to move back to Oxford. Infill. You go down Coggeshall, there's 2 houses built, infill. So we have room to work inside. A developer, we just need to get a developer or some investor said, I'm going to work infill, and that can become the workforce housing for Oxford.
There you go. Guiilermo Nurse joins us here by way of our Local Talk program live in studio today. If you've missed this live show, you can head back to our website immediately following this, and it'll be up on our podcast Local Talk section on our website at nextdoorradio.com. So you talked a little bit about the growth and the workforce housing. Well, we talked a little bit about the public safety aspect of it, and of course, the ever-growing population that we do have here in Granville County. Now, the infrastructure knowledge of the Public Works Department operation. What does all that mean? That's a lot of words.
That's part of my strength.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of my biggest strengths right now is Public Works. I was, while in Puerto Rico on the military base out there, I was the assistant Public Works officer for 3 years. So I know the in and outs of how Public Works operates. I was fortunate enough to sat down with Stephen and his managers at the Public Works Department, and I see the challenges they have. They need technology upgrade. They need a work order system in place. They need personnel. We were able to identify some key areas where the city is letting revenues slip away. Mm. And that was amazing to me when I asked the question. He said, what are you talking about? I've been bringing this up. It's slipping away. We bring it up. We bring it up for attention. Nothing was happening. We got a new city manager, so hopefully those areas would go away. But the city Public Works Department is really starting to improve. If you see them throughout the city, they are doing things that hasn't been done in maybe 2 years because of shorter personnel. We had COVID, but there were shorter personnel. And I think we have the right manager and we have the right supervisors in Public Works. I sat with these guys and I could probably sit with them for days because we talk the same language. And I went in there for an hour meeting and it lasted 4 hours.
Wow.
Just getting my brain back and talking Public Works operation with them and different ideas. So I think that's a great department. They need, in the future, they should be relocated or have a new facility for them, a new state-of-the-art facility where they can operate and do things right. They have some equipment issues. They have some budget issues. I don't think they have enough. I wrote it down that they don't have enough money for what I think they should be doing. But again, it's not my call. I'm just a mayor. You know, I would be just a mayor. It's just a matter of working with the board members, uniting the board members to facilitate and provide the department heads what they need to be 100% in term that would please our citizen and show the citizens that we work and give them the stuff they need.
Guiilermo Nurse joins us here by way of our Local Talk live in studio here at Next Door Radio at 109 Hillsborough Street. Of course, our phone number 919-618-9258. This is part of the program where we like to have just an open floor, 2 minutes that we give to anybody that's running for office a chance. Anything that we didn't discuss today, something that's on your mind. But the floor is yours, my friend.
Well, I'm hoping that as I get around and talk to my fellow citizens, they see the vision, they see the leadership capability I have with my years of experience, and they would join me. One thing I found out, and we looked at this past weekend, I would like to form community focus groups and have the citizens manage the different boards within the city and government. At the present time, commissioners are assigned to a board. I think a lot of these things, focus should come to the citizens. The citizens should be the one that gets together, look at the problem, bring a solution, and then we put it to work. We got to have total involvement in the community. They got to feel that they're wanted. They have a sense of value that without them, we cannot operate. To me, I look at this job as a partnership with every citizen that walks the city, that pay taxes, that lives in Oxford. That's a partnership. It's not a one-man show. It's a partnership. And if we can find and establish a partnership, better say unity, we will be a very strong citizen community that everyone has input and a government that listens to the input and come up with solutions to make the city a better city.
Fantastic. Well, Ms. Nurse, appreciate you very much for joining us here, a part of our Local Talk program. God bless you. Thank you for what you do, what you stand for, and we look forward to have you back on soon, okay?
Thank you very much, Trey.
Absolutely. Again, my name is Trace Knight. He is Guiilermo Nurse. He is running for mayor of Oxford here in the upcoming elections. Until next time, God bless. We'll see you later.
You are listening to Next Door Radio on the Vanco Outdoor Equipment Stream. Vanco Outdoor Equipment, your local Mahindra tractor dealer in Henderson.
Now's the best time of year to get more for your money on new Mahindras. Enjoy 0% interest or save thousands of dollars on rugged Mahindra tractors. That's more for less on many of Mahindra's best-selling models, with tractors that deliver more lift capacity, fuel efficiency, and built-in weight. Save more on Mahindra today. Visit Vanco Outdoor Equipment, your local Mahindra tractor dealer. 0% APR. Financing available for limited time only. See us or go to MahindraUSA.com for more information.